And then you could tell me too if you can hear me.
Do I have to schedule?
You select the Sunday one.
Okay.
All right, start. I'm just waiting a few more minutes for 7 o'clock. Thanks, guys, for joining me early. Very excited about this one. This is the third time that I'm actually hosting a live masterclass or a webinar. There's so many different names out there for it, but so glad that everyone was able to log in and join me this Sunday. I disabled the chat just because the last time I got really distracted with the questions. But I'm going to open up the chat box at the end of the presentation. So, you know, you guys will be able to, well, actually, let me see. I'm just gonna test the chat box to see if I'm like, I'm as easily distracted this time. So you can chat to me. So just waiting a few more minutes. Can you guys see my screen? Great. Awesome, good. Last time I stayed on the first slide and no one could see the rest of the slideshow. So it's getting the hang of these webinars. Could you chat to me? Yes. Can you chat a question? Oh. Oh, where are you? Did you go to the webinar room?
Yeah, I went to it's on that.
Mm-hmm. And then you registered?
Yes.
And you chose the date. Oh yeah, just don't watch it. And then, so you can ask questions here.
Oh, so I don't click that?
No, I guess not. It's so weird. Oh, I messed up because I started the webinar too early. I started the broadcast too early. But I guess like watch it on YouTube, like, and then let me see what you see. All right, so I'm going to get started now. Let me know if you can hear me or if you have any issues. So basically, so how to get the money to start your fashion or beauty business, 30K, or I like to call it 30K in 30 days. So I'll show you exactly how to get the money that you need to start or run your business and grow your business quickly without having to deal with a lot of red tape and declines or work 18 hours a day trying to save the money. I know that there's not a lot of options for startups, so there's so very little you can do, and the ability, what you can do, is not very fun. So I'll show you. You do have options, basically. If you stay to the end of the presentation, I'll share with you the secret to running a viral crowdfunding campaign. It's much simpler than people think. I know that you do get tired of your friends or family or people sending you links to their Kickstarter or their GoFundMe campaigns to go to South Africa or to start their t-shirt business. But the secret is very simple if you wanted to do a campaign of your own. So now that we're getting started, I want you to turn off all the distractions. If you're a startup founder and you're serious about funding your business and taking it to the next level, the next 60 minutes will change your life. So a little bit about me. My name is Juliette. I'm a financial consultant. I spent the past 3 years in the alternative lending industry. I worked with different types of startups for the past 10 years to help 3x their sales. I've been featured in Yahoo Finance, Pop Sugar, Stylecaster. I'm also a blogger, so I have experience actually working with brands in order to get people to buy from them. So now I'm on the other side and trying to get these brands onto the market. I've helped over 1,200 businesses get funded in the past 18 months. This is especially when I was with my old company, but I recently niched down to fashion and beauty startups just because that is my passion. I've started 3 businesses and 2 of them actually failed, leaving me bankrupt. So I know the importance of getting money before you actually need it. I know that people, there are a lot of solopreneurs out there, and there are a lot of businesses that you can start online or for very little money. But if you really want a business that's that you're able to have your children inherit, that's able to really, really take care of you in the long run, 5 to 10 years from now, you're going to have to get capital, and you're going to have to start it with the right structure. So there are a lot of different funding options available today for startups, even though they're not advertised. And these options, they're actually able to provide access to $25, $50, and even $100,000. There are also a lot of funding options out there that won't work for startups, which I'm sure you guys may have come across already. But let's get started with those so we can get that out of the way. Just so if you've been considering any of these options, I want you to just immediately cross those off your list, because they're going to be a waste of time and resources for you. The first one would be traditional banks, because Traditional banks are for more established businesses. You have to have good personal credit. And if you do have good personal credit, if you go into the bank and you tell them that you want to start a business, they'll probably give you a business credit card. And I put that in quotation marks because you'll learn later on that their type of, it's not really a business credit card because it's still going to affect your personal credit. Even though you may get a higher line of credit for business purposes, it's still going to affect your personal credit. So when you go to the bank and you have good personal credit, you can get maybe 10 at the most a line of credit for your business. This can be enough for some, but and if it's a great rewards program, you can take advantage of it, but there's so many other options available for you as a business that you don't have to resort to this. Because in the end, it's not going to be moving you forward. You're going to be moving backwards because you're going to be worried about debt. That's what people talk about when they say, don't start your business in debt. They actually mean this type of debt, not what we'll be discussing later on. Another option that you don't have available to you as a startup is cash flow financing. I'm sure you've probably seen on Facebook or on television or online display ads anywhere that says, get money for your business fast, bad credit, okay. But then sometimes they'll have no startups. And you're like, oh, okay, not me. So yeah, these options are not available to startups. I actually, in my past life, this is what I used to do. I used to help business owners get merchant cash advances or infusions of cash when they needed it. And then the requirements for these type of finance options is that you have to be in business at least for a year. You have to do over $10,000 in revenue, and you have to have a credit score above 500 or more. So if that's the case, then you really don't need this type of financing. You have better options because it's pretty expensive. The rates are very high. So it's expensive money, basically. And it's just digging you deeper into debt. And people that eventually, and so that's why I'm glad that you joined me today for this presentation, because then you won't need this type of financing. If you follow the steps that I outlined today, you'll never need this type of cash flow financing. You can focus on just building your business and having the revenue and having the right structure, because when you have this type of financing, it's only for in case of emergencies, and that's why they take advantage of you and it's so expensive. If you get to that level, then I tell people, you might have to just take a step back. If this is the right business model for you, you might have to shutter your doors, because you don't want to borrow money when you actually need money. Like I said, with this, you need to be in business for a year and have over 10K in monthly revenue. So now let's get into the options that are actually great for startups. So with startups, you can actually go and get a personal loan and use it to start your business. So there are sites like Lending Club where you can borrow up to $300,000 from complete strangers. And that's through what's known as a peer-to-peer loan. But the only thing is that you need to have really, really good credit to qualify for a P2P loan. If you have challenge credit, which is a credit score in the 500s or low 600, Lending Club won't approve your loan. So basically, you can't go to them unless you have a 680 or more. So that's the only hitch. But if you have great credit, or if you work with a service or even a member of my team to improve your personal credit, that could be an option. Another way to finance your startup is using a collateral-based loan. So you can use your assets as collateral for the loan, And rates on this type of financing for a startup are great because they're low. They're often less than 5%. So you're not really in deep debt when you start your company. So I know people are hesitant to borrow money, but if you borrow $30,000 and then you're only paying back $35,000, that's not a bad deal. And then you have an entire year to repay it, then that is great as a startup. So collateral-based loans are when you want really low payments so you can ramp up. And then you can use a house, a car, and certain other assets as collateral for these type of loans. This is oftentimes what I recommend during a strategy session with a client. They always say, oh, I could just ask like my mom or a family member for the money. I try to tell them if a family member owns a home or if they own a car or some type of asset, I would have them use that asset versus borrowing the straight cash from the family member, because that is easier. And then the payments are really low, and then it's more manageable between the two of you. Just another option instead of just borrowing money from family members. Another way that you can finance your startup is with security-based financing. I know a lot of you are still working on your business as you're working full-time. So if you have existing stocks, you can actually leverage them to get business financing. You can borrow as much as 90% of the value of your stocks, and the bonus is that you'll continue to earn interest on the stocks that you're pledging as collateral. So it's a win-win situation. This is something that I was able to have a $250,000 deal for a founder that does fashion manufacturing. So he actually wasn't able to get any money from any of the traditional banks. He wasn't able to get a merchant cash advance. He wasn't able to get a line of credit. But with us, we were able to use his stocks as collateral, and he's able to get $250,000. He actually went to the bank to get $35,000, but now he's able to get $250,000 with assets that he already has. And then the benefit is that he's earning interest, and his payments are low and the interest is low. So these options, the reason why a lot of people don't know about them is because these companies, these online loan companies or the banks themselves, they don't make a lot of money on these options because they're not putting you into more and more debt. You're borrowing what you can borrow, and you're paying back a very low amount, and you're paying it back manageably. So whereas there's a lot of room for them to actually make commission on you. So that's why it's not advertised. Another option for you, especially if you're still currently working full-time, is 401k financing. You can use your existing 401k or IRA as collateral for business financing. And so you don't have to worry about any tax penalties, and you can actually close and fund within 1 to 3 weeks. This is actually something that I use this method for my mom. She's a nurse. And so one thing is that she wanted to start an export business for materials to Nigeria. And so we just used 401k financing in order to pull money from her 401k. We just got $30,000, and she doesn't have to worry about tax penalties, and we were able to get the money within the month. Now, this is accounts receivable. This is a great option for people that are service providers, or like my other client that does manufacturing. So you can use outstanding accounts receivables for financing. So instead of waiting 60 to 90 days, you can get as much as 80% of your receivables to you in less than 24 hours. So say you started a manufacturing company, like I have one client that does the glass mugs for Busch Gardens. And so every summer season, they get a huge order from Busch Gardens, but it takes 90 days to get paid. So, instead of him waiting 90 days to get paid, he's able to send Busch Gardens the glass mugs, the glass cups with the straws, and he's able to get paid up front and continue to move on with his business. Because imagine if you already produced such a large order and then you have to wait 90 days, that's going to impact you servicing other clients or making more money. So the whole point is to continue your cash flow. And this was great too when you're first starting your business, because if you take a bunch of orders to get the materials to make a certain item, then you can use the account receivables funding to purchase the materials to make that item. So if you are a handbag designer and you're able to, but you're a really good salesperson, and you're able to get 10 orders of your handbags using samples. And so now you can use accounts receivables, the amounts, the outstanding invoices, to get the materials to make the handbags to sell it at the boutiques. So it's not coming directly from you and out of your pocket. And so once the invoice is paid in full, the rest of your money is released. Another way to take advantage of your services and your inventory is inventory financing. So you can use your existing inventory as collateral for business financing. The only thing is that I recommend that you have about $500,000 worth of inventory or more. So then you're able to get a line of credit for 50% of your inventory value. So about $250,000, and you're able to get funding in 3 weeks or less. Now, this was very good for a fitness apparel manufacturer. They had a ton of ski inventory, but the high-tech thermal ski jackets that prevented sweat and that kept you warm, and they're really lightweight. And so it was totaled about $750,000. So we were able to get them about $150,000. And then they were able to use that to hire a sales team to help sell the inventory that they had. So you can use your inventory financing for a number of things. So there's just very different ways, very different methods to make sure that you're able to have cash flow for your business. Another option is equipment financing. Now, I love equipment financing, especially since I started working with jewelry designers. If we have any jewelry designers on this call, then you know how much a LightScribe jewelry maker costs. It's $80,000 right there. So I had a client come to me. She wanted to expand off Etsy and start to do engraving and just do some really intricate designs. And so you really want a LightScribe machine because they're really able to make these beautiful designs that you see on Instagram, or and then you'll be able to sell the pieces for $200 or more. But this equipment is $80,000. So she said she wanted to start a jewelry company, and so the first question I asked during a funding strategy call is, now, what do you need the money for? If they don't know, then we'll figure it out. But if they already know, she said she needs to get a LightScribe machine. But the benefit is that you can do equipment financing. So you can get financing to purchase or lease new equipment even as a startup. You can get approved with as little as 1 month and the first month's and last month's payments down. if you have reasonable credit. So she was, instead of having to borrow $125,000 to start her jewelry business, all she had to do is put down $5,500. And that's, that's a huge difference. So a lot of times you actually need less than upfront than you think. So it's really important to really create a business plan and figure out where your expenses are, if it's equipment, if it's logistics, and then try to minimize that, so you can hold on to your cash flow. At the same time, if you have equipment, so for example, if the jewelry designer eventually wanted to open a brick and mortar store, and she needed cash, she could use it after she purchased it in full. She can use it as collateral to get financing. So she can sell the equipment to a lender for cash and then lease it back from them. And this funding can happen in as little as 3 weeks. The benefit of everything that I'm showing you with so far is that the funding is less than 30 days. This is funding that doesn't take you a year, because as a startup, you want to start your business, you want to get it funded, you want to start growing immediately. And so with these options, you're able to get your funding within the 30 days. I mentioned earlier that with the collateral financing, I recommend using that as an option if you needed to borrow from friends and family. But from friends and family, you can also use a promissory note. So family members and friends who like your business idea may be willing to lend you funds. So just be sure to use it just to get the loan in writing to avoid any misunderstandings later on. Now, angel investors and, here we go. Angel investors and VCs. So this is the type of startup financing that, movies are made of, news is made of, and a lot of people are familiar with. So the pro with angel investors and VCs is that you can raise money debt-free. But it's really important to establish upfront and contractually how much control they have in the company. So as I mentioned earlier, I worked with startups in the past, and the last one, the founder went into their second round of funding, but then had to fire half of the company, and left him in tears. So it's give or take. So even though you may not be in debt, you may be giving up something more valuable than money. As I mentioned, the con. On further note, just with angel investors, the difference between angel investors and venture capitalists is that angel investors are, I think, the easier of the two. I work with angel investors. If I see a startup that I think a certain angel investor might be interested in, I do present my client to them to see if they can form some type of relationship. But with both angel investors and venture capitalists, they don't want companies that want to be bought, and I think I think that's a quote from the founder of Nasty Girl. VCs and angel investors don't want companies that are actually for sale. So you need to prove your credibility, especially now with so many startups in the game, by raising your own seed funding and creating your own revenue stream and showing your success before these players come in. So if you're the type of person that eventually wants to sell your company or start a chain or expand, then either way, all of these strategies, you need to implement them before you even are approached by an angel investor or venture capitalist. So the SBA, the Small Business Administration, they actually do have startup loans. I know that a lot of people aren't familiar with their programs, but they do have the Community Advantage program and the micro loan program. And so those are two SBA loan programs that target new and underserved businesses. So with the Community Advantage program, you can get up to $250,000 for your startup. And with the microloan program, you can get up to $50,000. So the only thing is that the requirements are strict for these type of startup loans, but very easy because, you know, as long as you have the paperwork in place, you can still apply and possibly get approved. Now, business credit card. So I put this as a separate slide from, earlier in the presentation, I mentioned that if you go to a traditional bank, they'll try to give you a business credit card. No, a real business credit card, you can get low interest rates and with just stated income, no financials required. You get 0% financing for 6 to 18 months, which is amazing for startups. So, you know, you're building your startup, you're spending this money, and you're not having to accrue interest rates because, you know, once you start a business, it's just money out of the door. And so what I love about business credit is that you can get $50,000 and $100,000 in financing without a personal guarantee. So this is not affecting your personal credit. If you're married, it's not affecting your spouses or anything. You don't need a cosigner. It's all attached to your business. If you're a founder with partners, this is excellent because the two of you can each get $50,000 or $100,000, and that's a lot of money for a startup. And as a startup, you can get business credit immediately. So that as long as you follow, I know that when you registered for the webinar, I sent over the PDF of the 5 steps that you can follow just to get business funding. If you follow those 5 steps, then you can easily get this business funding. And so this has to be the best way as a startup to get money. You can get about 5 times the amount of your highest revolving credit limit, which is about $150,000 per individual. So yeah, if you have two founders, that's $300,000 right there for your startup. And the benefit is that there's no impact on your personal credit when using this type of financing. Unlike with personal credit cards or business credit cards issued by the bank, you'll need to have a 700 credit score or guarantor with good credit to get approved. And so that's the issue. With business credit, you don't need good credit, you don't need collateral, and you don't need cash flow. The business doesn't have to already have revenue in order to get approved for this. So that's why it's so perfect for startups. It's credit that's linked to your EIN, not your social security number. And then you're building a score that's linked to your business and not your personal credit. So as your business ages, the better your score is. You know, you're no longer going to be personally liable, which is important when running a business. As I mentioned, so takeaway, you don't need good credit, no collateral, no cash flow, credit that's linked to your EIN, not your social security number. I would put an asterisk or star in your notes for business credit and follow and download the PDF and try to follow those 5 steps that I outlined in order to get business funding. Now, crowdfunding. So crowdfunding is when you focus on raising small amounts of money from a large amount of people. And so this is usually done through Kickstarter or GoFundMe or Indiegogo. Now, the secret to a successful crowdfunding campaign is to have your backers lined up before the campaign is even live. So there are different ways to do this. And then, you know, to have people that are actually interested in your product or in your service or what your company can provide. And so that is when the marketing and the strategy comes into place. So once you have that lined up, once the campaign goes live, you send the message out to these people, this list of people, and you tell them that the campaign is live and they can go ahead and make their pledges. And so that way you have this influx of traffic to your campaign page and immediate pledges and funding available. Then you can use that information and leverage it to send it out and tweet it out and possibly get on the homepage of the crowdfunding site or in their newsletter to get even more pledges. Another option is, for example, if you're a fashion designer, you can do pre-orders. And this is not an alien business model, because if you know a site, this is a screenshot of a site called Moda Operandi. They do trunk shows. So you can actually pre-order these items from their site. And that's essentially the type of crowdfunding campaign that you can do as a designer. You can create your design, you can create your samples, and have customers that are interested in these type of designs pre-order these samples, and then you have the money in place to create the designs, just like, as I mentioned, with account receivables, but this time it's per customer versus the actual retailer. So, and this is a model that you can just continue to use, or you can use initially to fund your business. And it's great. And it also gets people, you know, talking, and just, you know, in terms of SEO and then links and shares. It's just a great way to keep a lot of eyes on your business. Another popular way to fund your startup is with accelerators. Accelerators provide funding and support. They're highly competitive and tech-centric. So there aren't accelerators for fashion and beauty startups yet. I know that Sally Beauty and Sephora, they were supposed to start some programs, but I don't know if they're in place yet. So I know that Teen Vogue has a course, but it's not necessarily a program. And then a lot of times accelerators are for startup founders that, you know, are in their late 20s, early 30s, that, you know, have this business and they want to work with founders that, you know, are like-minded. So this way you guys are learning at the same pace, you're making connections, and you have that administrative and financial support, which is important. So who would love to have both funding and support? If you'd love to have both funding and support, type 1 in the Q&A box. Awesome, awesome, okay. So if that's the case, I'm not sure why you decided to join me today, but most likely you're struggling between the need to start your own business and wanting a stable income, or your current job has left you unfulfilled and now you're ready for a new challenge. You're tired of reading startup success stories and thinking, hey, that was my idea. You started your business, but you found it difficult to make your sales goals. You're currently saving all of your pennies, but don't think you'll ever save enough to start your business. If you check the box on one or all of these things, then I think I have a solution for you. And it's called the Smart Startup Program. This is an online startup accelerator that I created for fashion and beauty founders. So with the Smart Startup Program, you'll be able to start and fund your business in just 30 days, guaranteed. And so you can set up your business entity and foundation. Excuse me. Whoops, slides. You can set up your business entity and foundation. You can organize your personal finances. You'll be able to get the seed funding you need to start your business and create a growth strategy that will ensure your business is profitable in just 1 year. So these are all the things that worry new founders and new business owners. All of that will be taken away and dealt with this program. So the Smart Startup is all about helping you get all the money you need to start your business without having to deal with a lot of red tape, declines, work 18 hours a day trying to save the money. And you can do this in as little as 30 days. And by being a Smart Startup founder, you're a real business owner. You can proudly hold the title of founder, owner, CEO. It's no longer a side hustle. It's an actual company. You can rest assured that your business will be one of the successful startups that makes it past their first year. You won't have to work full-time or even part-time while running your business. If you're reading this and wondering, is this chick stalking me? I'll tell you 3 things. Don't worry, I'm not. I was you, and that's why I get you. And it's really time to stop the struggle. I'd like to introduce you to a new way to start a company. No sweat, no tears, just business. The Smart Startup program is a done-for-you business building service for brilliant and talented entrepreneurs in the fashion and beauty and tech industries. So it includes personal finance and reorganization. So your personal finances will be structured in a way to make sure that it doesn't impede or affect your business. So this includes personal credit, your accounts, your budget. Everything will create a financial plan for you to make sure that your head is in the game, basically. Business creation and foundation. That's when we make sure we decide whether you're an S Corp or LLC, if your business is structured and has the right foundation. So we're able to really build credibility on paper. And then we focus on funding procurement. So all the 17 ways that I outlined today's presentation, we can use one or many of them in order to fund your business. We figure out what you need the money for and how much you need, and then we find out how we're going to get it, and we do that under 30 days. And then if it's a business loan, we figure out growth and revenue strategy that has you able to pay the loan back within 4 to 5 months and then have revenue on top of that. So this way you're able to quit your full-time job and focus solely on running your business. And so the total value of all of this is $4,875. You know, a lot of us have disposable income. Most people get their paycheck each month, and a percentage of that goes to happy hour, Netflix, and things like that. I'm not asking you to take your money and throw it at something that's, going to disappear like Netflix or happy hour. I want you to take your money and invest it in yourself and your business. Take your money and have it work for you. So you have 2 options. You can do it slow and keep doing what you're doing now, having your business as your side hustle, or, trying to save up to start your business and basically continue to see the same results and have the same pit in your stomach and have the same stress. Or you can do it quickly. You can work with me and my team, and over the course of 6 months, we'll build you the brand and business that you've been dreaming of. We'll remove all of the headaches and obstacles of starting a business so you can focus on what's important. Focus on your purpose. And really, do you have the time to do that? No. As a Smart Startup founder, you'll receive the financial and administrative support that you need to start, fund, and grow your business. What do you see in your daily life? Do you see yourself in an office space? Do you see a brick and mortar business? Do you see yourself in a WeWork space? Do you need a marketing firm, or do you need a small team of VAs? You tell us what your ideal company structure is, and we'll make sure you'll get it. So as I mentioned before, our program includes personal finance and reorganization. business creation foundation, funding, procurement, growth and revenue strategy to make sure that you are profitable in the first year and you're one of the successful startups that makes it past year one. And there's a guarantee. If Smart Startup doesn't help you get exactly all the money you need to start and run your business and help you grow your business quickly without having to do the 18-hour days and save the money, then I'll refund you your money. This is within 90 days. It's a guarantee because I didn't do my job, so I don't want your money. This isn't a program, an Instagram program that says that you're going to get followers and then you'll get money. This isn't a program that says, oh, we're going to work on your Facebook strategy and then you'll get money. This isn't a program that promises you all these other things. This is a program that's actually going to get you the money. So if I'm not able to get you money, then you deserve a refund. So the total investment that I usually ask of my clients is $2,997. And then the initial payment is $997. But I decided to start spreading the word and doing these webinars and offering this webinar deal. So you can get started with Smart Startup now for less than $1,000 off, basically. So it's $1,997. I know it's crazy, but this is something I'm testing out to see if I'm able to, because my goal is really to find the next Nasty Gal, to find the next Birchbox, to find the next Curlbox, to find the next Pose app, those beauty founders that want to really take their companies to the next level. If you want a company that's $1 million in revenue, $2 million in revenue, I want you. So I'm willing to slash my prices to get you on board because that's the type of pedigree that I want in my portfolio. And in addition to that, you don't have to get started for $997. You can actually get started today for $397. And then it will just be 3 payments of $525. And so we'll work with you for 6 months or more, depending on what you need from us. We can discuss that, but you definitely have us for 6 months and you definitely get funded within the 90 days. It's a guarantee, and you can start today for $397. And usually get people funding in 30 days. So you can get funded by the time your next payment is due. So you're really just investing upfront $397. So like I said, what's your ideal daily life? Do you want to work from home? Do you want office space? Let us help you accomplish those business goals. Let us start a real business together. So as I mentioned, you can get started now for just $397, 3 payments of $525. And I'm going to just, have this available for you now. So you have 24 hours after this webinar to join for the webinar price. After that, it's going to go back to the initial price of $997 and $2,997 for the program. But I hope that I'm attracting the next Nasty Gal, the next person that's going to be on the cover of Forbes. This is what I want from this program. So hopefully you're in the presentation today, you're ready to pull the trigger, you're ready to join us, you're ready to start a smart startup. Because you have nothing to lose. You have a guarantee that this is going to be for you, or you can just go back to doing what you're doing. But this is the way. If you don't want any sweat, if you don't want any tears, if you just want to focus on your business, then the Smart Startup program is the way to go. Now, if you have any questions, I unmuted the chat box so you can shoot them over to me. And you can also add your email address, and we can set up a call afterwards to discuss additional questions. But I'm opening up the chat box now. So for right now, if I can help clients, so the question is if it's for just US clients. So no, it's not just for US startups. As I mentioned, you saw the crowdfunding, and there are other ways for you to get funded. So even though this is geared towards US and Canadian-based, Canada-based companies, I do help people based in Australia or in other places, not just Australia. I can help international companies. Now, personal credit can, yes, personal credit can be an issue, but that's what's part of the package. We make sure that your personal finances are in order to make sure that it doesn't affect your business. But you getting funding is not contingent on your personal credit, but us improving your credit is part of the package. So you'll be a well-rounded financially, both personally and in business. Now, growth marketing is really good so growth marketing is really something that came about with startups. Growth marketing is focused on getting you users and customers. So if you have an app, you're focused on downloads. If you have a store, you're focused on sales. So growth marketing is numbers based. It's focused on getting you sales. Because I come from a sales background, as I mentioned before, so I've specialized in growth marketing and focus on getting you actual revenue, not just getting you Instagram followers or Facebook likes. It's focused on actual money in the bank for your business. Because I'm a company with 250,000 Instagram followers, but just $5,000 in sales is not going to be here in 5 to 10 years. And who knows if Instagram is going to be around for that long. So you can't really base, so that's why I don't focus on social media marketing. I focus on growth marketing. Okay, so yes. So yeah, this is only for 24 hours. So after that, it's going to go back to the $9.97 and the $29.97. If you want to schedule a call with me, you can feel free to. The link is on my website. But yeah, this is just something that I'm testing out with the webinars. This special pricing. Don't want to promote it extensively, especially because my team also gets a cut. So I need to make sure I'm running my company in order to help you run yours. All right, so do we have any other questions? Okay, great. So hopefully, I see you guys on the other side. I see that you register for the program and you join us. Would love to have you, would love to build your business with you. It's what we do best. So feel free to message me afterwards, after this. I'm going to stop the broadcast now, but the offer is available to you, and I'll be sending out a replay tomorrow. So hopefully you'll be joining the Smart Startup program shortly. All right. Thanks, guys. Happy Sunday. Bye.